Welcome back to the Macro Podcast, where I invest $250 every week, and the things that I buy are based off of what people share with me. We're going to switch up the format and do this on my phone actually this time, as far as the screen recording. So that'll be a little bit different. Yeah, so we're going to go over to Robinhood right now. Well, actually, we're going to start with the list. We're going to start with the list, guys. So this week's list, I have a thread here in our Discord. If you're not familiar with me, I'm a day trader, right? Day trade every single day, live in our Discord. Started this long-term account to show the power of long-term investing with my hope that through this series, you will be motivated to invest, okay? If you want to accumulate wealth, build a portfolio, it's as easy as doing the same thing consistently. It doesn't even have to be done perfectly, and I'm doing that. I'm setting the example for that by buying these stocks that people recommend, right? So it doesn't really matter what it is. I'm just going to buy it. The account right now, we can see, is almost at, let's just scroll up, almost at $3,000. So it's at $2,800 here. We can see the portfolio. I'm going to put this in a spreadsheet as it grows so you guys can just click on and see the holdings. But yeah, everything here, Apple, VOO, Tesla, VTI, Palantir, GameStop, Cost, NVIDIA, Microsoft, PG, Invax, MMM, Berkshire, A-Shares, TQQQ, Lululemon, Boeing, ARM, J&J, TLT, Peloton, Humana, RTX, CMG, TSM, CTAS, JGRO, INTC, IWM, ENS, SQQQ, LL, INTT, SMCI, all things people have recommended. So we're going to buy 5 stocks today: Amazon, Sofi, TLT, KMI, and SBUCs. We're not going to do SQQQ today, and we'll get into that later. But let's go to Amazon, right? And I'm going to give my thoughts on each one of these, right? So Amazon, I like Amazon as a company. I use them every single day. It'd be crazy not to get some of my money back, basically. So current price is at $183. Let's take a look at the monthly, see how relative of a deal that we're getting. We see that we are down on the monthly on the 3-month. As well, we're kind of in this choppy pattern, but yeah, let's go ahead and do a buy $50 at market for Amazon. Boom, bam, order received. Boom, purchased. All right, don't want to do that. What is the next stock that we're going to buy? Sofi. So I like Sofi. I used to day trade Sofi actually quite often, very, very much quite often. So let's go to Sofi. Sofi Technologies. Currently at 647. Sofi business. All right. So Sofi, fintech company, their business gotten beat up. They got beat up in COVID a lot. I think that their business model, especially as it relates to lending and banking, they need to come up with a few more services. And I think their stock can explode. If you look at the 5-year, I mean, they're down heavily. I mean, from a peak of like 20, being in the 20s down to $6. If you believe in the company, though, this is probably as good of a price as you're going to get. But yeah, let's go ahead and get $50 of Sofi in here, and hopefully they don't go out of business. Sofi. But yeah, I used to trade leaps and stuff on Sofi all the time. TLT. Give me some TLT. All right. So probably not going to buy too much more TLT. It's a bond ETF. For a growth portfolio. Yeah, I'm not too interested in bonds, honestly. So we're gonna start to implement more rules as the portfolio gets bigger. For now, though, I'm giving it more wiggle room on just buying things that people recommend. KMI. So the way that bonds work, by the way, if you're not familiar, is somebody wants to raise money for something, right? They will sell bonds, and the sell of the bond gives them the capital that they need, and then they give you a fixed return on the bond, right? So let's say that I sell you a bond, you give me $1,000 for the bond, and I give you 5% every year on that, right? So you're going to make 5% on $1,000 every year. People do this for, fixed rate of return, things like that. But bonds as a product, right? I just want to say this versus a loan are designed to raise capital. Really, it's why people, sell bonds, as well as a few other things. But just think of it like that. People want to raise money for something. Kinder Morgan. I'm actually not familiar with this company. We'll spend $50 on it anyways. Let's see what we're getting into. About Kinder Morgan engages in providing pipeline transportation of natural gas services. It operates through the following business segments: natural gas pipelines, product pipelines, terminals, and CO2. Interesting. All right. So getting into like oil and gas. Really got to have a whole macro breakdown on that. I think that's going to be another video. So I've been taking notes as I do this series about the different market segments that I want to talk about. And that's going to be another one. SBUCs. Let's take a look at SBUCs. Not shucks. SBUCs. Starbucks. All right, Starbucks. This is a fun one to talk about. So let's talk about stocks that get into the public eye and get beat up. So Starbucks, people, we're trying to cancel them for a while, or we're, boycotting them for a little while. Overall, I think if you think about like when Meta got beat up, okay, and they fell off a cliff, that was one of the best buy targets. I think Starbucks as well. Let's actually go back to their chart while I'm talking about it. Okay, if we look at Starbucks chart over the year-to-date chart, we see that they fell off a cliff. We look at the 5-year, and it seems like they have the cyclical kind of rotation thing here. We're coming out of a low even. So I like a buy on Starbucks overall. I don't think Starbucks is going anywhere. They have a huge real estate portfolio, right? If you think about the amount of Starbucks locations that there are, and people love Starbucks. I mean, despite the boycotts and things like that, when I look out in the real world, like real people like Starbucks. I'll say that much. So I like it as a buy. Whoops. I hate when something pops up on your phone and you're just trying to go navigate through an app and you hit a notification. It drives me nuts. Yeah, so this is going to be a short, quick episode. Just real quick, though, we're up to $2,800. Again, just $250 every week, guys. I started this from zero. So if you're somebody who's trying to figure out, how to grow a portfolio, pick an amount of money, invest in something. If you want something to start with, you're like, I'm not really good at picking stocks, Forrest. You can do an index fund like the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Okay, this tracks the 500 top stocks in the S&P 500, and it gives you automatic diversification. So you could, and in my real portfolio that I'm not doing for YouTube, that's exactly what I do. I invest purely in index funds in my long-term portfolio. Okay, in my real long-term portfolio, I don't do stock picks. I want to make that very clear. I have a brokerage account where I will get in and out of some things, but my true long-term portfolio, where I'm not focused on income generation, things like that, I only do index funds. Okay, guys? Yeah, there's a few caveats, but index funds, like 99% of the portfolio is index funds. That's how, much of a fact that is. Okay. But yeah, we're going to just let this grow. The point of this is just to show the power of putting in the work. Almost at $3,000. That's cool. And the best part about this, guys, is like, this is my money. It's not optimized, but it's $2,800 of my own money. Say something tragic happens, I've got $2,800 just put away right here, ready to go. And that is the point of this series. So let me know if you started your portfolio. What are you at? Maybe you've been doing this for a while. How's your portfolio grown? What are some investments or things that you guys want me to look at? I've been taking direction purely from the Discord, but if you comment some things down below in the comment section, I will put those on the list as well. I hope you appreciated this little update in this long-term portfolio series. Check out my other videos if you want to know how to trade. You can join my trading community. It is wap.com/trade edge. We day trade every single day, futures, options, everything under the sun. See you in the next video.